I'm Suda 51.
So yes, hi, my name is Suda51. I am the representative of a designer at and also write scripts for the developer Grasshopper Manufacturer. I'm here today to talk about Travis Strikes Again, the special edition, which is out on October 17th and is a new release for both the PlayStation 4 and the PC. The game is already out on the Switch, but for those of you who do not have a Switch, you can get it now on the PS4 or the PC.
皆さんぜひ。今現在
So yeah, if I had to speak very generally, right now we're about 50% done, maybe a little bit less, with the production of No More Heroes 3, and we're focusing really hard on just making it a really great game.
まさに
So yes, you can probably see it in the poster I have over here, but in Travis Strikes Again, Travis used something called the Death Glove, which allowed him to kind of access power in the system called the Death Drive. And he was able to equip skills there and kind of use skills in the game. And this entire system, we're going to be bringing it to No More Heroes 3.
まあ、2で1回
So yeah, at the end of 2, I kind of brought the story of Travis Touchdown to a close at that point. That was kind of how I read it, how I wrote it. But every time since then, every time a new Nintendo console came out, I kind of looked at it and went like, wow, this would be a really cool system for Travis to be in. It'd be really cool to bring him back for that. And then in addition to that, the fans themselves, every time like a new system came out, they're like, is there going to be a new Travis game? Is there going to be a new Travis game? And I thought that would disappear over time. I thought people would eventually just kind of lose interest, but instead, it was the opposite. People just got more and more interested and more passionate about seeing a new Travis game. Within me, I was like, I always thought it would be cool to write another scenario with Travis Touchdown again, maybe as a No More Heroes 3 or another part of a series with him. So, that was something that both the fans wanted and that, I thought would be pretty cool. And then when the Nintendo Switch came out, until then, I was looking around, there was not really good timing for me to do it. But then I saw the Switch and said, oh, intuitively, this is just the perfect timing for me to create a new Travis Touchdown, a new No More Heroes game, or a new system game. So yes, that's kind of how it came about.
まずそうですね
So in terms of the development itself, we've kind of been using Unreal Engine 4 for a while, and the fact that you can develop on the Switch with that does make the development for the Switch quite easy. So in that sense, it's a really great title to work for because of that sort of ease and that familiarity that we have with it. But also on the Switch, there's all sorts of different titles that are currently available. There's AAA, really beautiful, like high quality, insanely like well-produced titles as well, and then there's also things that are a lot more. They're very indie. The graphics aren't really the main focus of it. They have all sorts of interesting, cool innovations. But there's this big range of games that you can find on the Switch. And I think in that sense, it's a very Nintendo sort of system with all sorts of available types of play for you. Additionally, there's also like the Joy-Cons, which are this very Nintendo kind of innovation that they use. And Nintendo is always coming up with these very innovative, interesting kind of mechanics and systems for their systems, and I feel like that's almost like a challenge issued to the developers, like make something that fits our system, make something that works with all these cool things that we're creating. And I think No More Heroes and Travis himself are like a very perfect fit for the Nintendo Switch system.
そうですね
So when I was developing for the Wii controller or the Wii U controller, like I was thinking like, what is the best thing I could do? What is the most interesting thing I can do with this system? How can I fully extract the value of this mechanic and this kind of thing into my games? And we're doing the same thing with the Joy-Cons right now. We're thinking, what is the best use that we can put them to? And I mean, for the Wii U, we had this kind of going on. But for the Joy-Cons, I don't want to say like it'll be better or worse, but it'll just be something that's perfectly tailored, hopefully, for the Joy-Cons and makes full use of the powers and mechanics that they allow us to use.
それこそ本当に
One thing that really surprised me was that the fans for my games, they really remembered the bike missions in the original title. They had a lot of, sorry, let me correct myself, not the bike missions, the part-time jobs that you did. So there was a lot of fan feedback of how much they like those kind of part-time jobs that Travis did. And there aren't that many games where you can kind of play these really stupid, kind of silly little side games. So I definitely want to make sure to include that sort of thing in No More Heroes 3.
答えられるように、はい、もうしっかり準備してます。まあダムド自体は
So regarding Shadows of the Damned, kind of Garcia and Jones were two characters in there that, in kind of some way, sense and form, might be live on in other games. But generally what we try to do is to constantly create new IPs and do new challenges. But at the same time, we also like listening to fan voices, which we've mentioned before, and the loudest voices that we hear are generally for Lollipop Chainsaw. That's something that we seem to hear a lot of people wanting to see more of. Whether or not that is the original game being released on a new platform, or whether it is a sequel, that's something that a lot of people seem to want, and we think would be kind of cool to do.
ので、そうですね。
So yeah, I would like to make a new one, but it would be a really hard thing to do. First of all, the IP is owned collaboration with Warner and Kadokawa, so obviously I would have to get their okays before I did anything like that. But yeah, if I could work again with James and do a collaboration and create a new Lollipop Chainsaw, I think that would be a lot of fun.
だったらすごく面白いビッグなニュースになると思うんですけども。
Three words. This is more three concepts, but Thanos level enemies would be number one. Full armor would be number two. And for three, okay, I can't say that. What are we talking about? Rocky 3. Let's go with Rocky 3.
Thank you so much. Thank you.